Jai Hind everyone. I am Himanshu Tripathi, Assistant Professor in Electronics and Communication Engineering Department. And today I am going to take a session on creative and design thinking for entrepreneurship. So let's start this session. The first thing is that we need to understand what is creativity and what is innovation. Do these two things are interlinked with each other or they are entirely different? Because in day-to-day communication we use both the words, and most of the time the scenario is not very much different when we are using these words. So there are two words, creativity and innovation. If we try to explain the creativity is generally means to doing something new, the generation of novel original ideas. So here I have mentioned that creativity is generation of novel original ideas. Basically, creativity sparks then what if I am doing the same thing in a different manner? What if I am constituting the same product with different components? What if we are changing the traditional scenario, traditional way of working, or traditional way of making any product or service in the entrepreneurship domain? So creativity generally deals with something new, something unexpected most of the time, and most of the time it is something novel. And on the other hand, if we talk about the innovation means the successful implementation of creative ideas into product or services. Like whatever we are creating with the help of creativity, it doesn't mean that that product or that service is going to be used for any business. We are going to create a business on the top of that product that is eventually the outcome of the creativity. It is not necessary all the time. So this is the very basic and very fundamental difference between the creativity and the innovation. Creativity means we are doing something new, and innovation means that whatever we are doing, whatever we are creating using our creativity, it can be used as a business product or as a business service or business solution, it may be. So this is the entrepreneurial link between the creativity and the innovation, because when as an entrepreneur we are thinking about creativity and innovation, that means the creativity is something which can create the market opportunity for the entrepreneur, and market opportunity will be created only and only when that product is going to be useful, that service is going to be useful in the business scenario. Okay, further in this thing, that how to try or how to basically convert our creativity or into the commercially viable or commercially successful product. This is a very unique way, and throughout the world, this is a very popular way of making innovation or doing innovation, and we call it the design thinking. The first and most important thing is design thinking is a human-centered approach. Whenever we say that we are going to implement design thinking, that means we are going to be human-centric. We are first considering that as a consumer or as a customer, what human or what the user or customer is willing to have. Our product or our service should be capable to fulfill the requirements of that particular user. So that is the thing that is being ensured by the human-centered approach or the design thinking. And there are so many other theories about the design thinking. People can explain design thinking in different scenarios, but here for the beginner levels, and I'm using the basic theory of the design thinking, that it is a component of it is a group of 5 components. The first component is the empathize. The second component is known as the define, and the third pillar or the component of design thinking theory is known as the ideate, and the next one is known as the prototype, and finally we are having the test. So these are the 5 verticals of design thinking. Now quickly let's see that what these verticals means in this design thinking theory or design thinking journey. When we talk about the empathize, that means we are trying to understanding the user. In an entrepreneurial scenario, there is a saying that what is the pain point and how many people are sharing the same pain point. So to understand that pain point, or to understand that how many similar kind of users are existing, which those who are having the same pain point, so that we can create a solution to resolve that pain point, and that solution is going to be sellable. So that study we used to do into the empathize stage. The next thing is the define stage. When we typically understand the user, we try to define as many as gaps which are available. So to understand the problem, we are using this define stage. Define stage is not having anything to do with the solution that we are going to propose in future. But yes, to understand the problem in the more clear or more crystal clear way, we are using this define stage. This means that articulate the core problem that we want to solve. The next thing is, once we are getting done with the define stage, or we are getting done with the how might be statement, or the problem statement, it is more in general, then we come to the ideate. Here we basically brainstorm the wide ranging creative solutions. We brainstorm with our team, we sit our team, and we generally try to find out that what may be the potential solutions, and out of those solutions we need to select one or maximum two. We can do the iteration, but yes, out of those many solutions that we are going to use in solving that particular problem is the ideation stage of the design thinking. Then the next stage is the prototype stage. Prototype stage means that now here at this point of time, we are interested to create something, to create a solution which we can offer any user to test. And if into the testing stage, user is getting it useful, user is getting it fruitful for him or her, then we can quickly validate that, okay, this is the product, and by using this product, we can start our own business or own enterprise. So this is in a very short, the design thinking theory or design thinking approach. And please remember that design thinking is not a linear checklist. It is flexible, always flexible in the nature, because if we are getting distracted, or if we are getting something new at the ideation stage, we can either go to the previous defined stage, or we can go previously to the empathize stage. So the transition from one stage to any stage is always there in the design thinking theory. And yes, if we are not getting the good results into the test stage, then we need to go either on the prototype or on the ideate, or similarly we can go to the define or empathize. So it is not not linear checklist. It is totally flexible and iterative in nature. So this is all about the design thinking. The next thing we are going to discuss in very brief, that what are the main tools and how we can use those tools if we really want to convert our creativity into the innovation. So here today we are going to talk about three different tools: brainstorming, and the scamper tool, and the mind mapping tool. So if we talk about the brainstorming means we want to sit with our team, and we want to generate as many ideas as possible. Here brainstorming is one of the most powerful group activity or group creativity technique that is designed to generate large volume of ideas rapidly with judgment suspended until later. So this is the most important point here in the brainstorming, that no judgment should be there. When we are sitting with our group and we are talking with each other, we are basically generating new ideas, and we may be talking about new things. So here it is supposed that we are not drawing any judgment, or we are not concluding any statement of our fellow team member. So these are the few things that we need to consider while we are doing the brainstorming with our team. The first thing is defer judgment. No ideas too wild. Criticism is banned during the session to keep ideas flowing freely. If we start criticizing, then immediately new ideas stop coming into our discussion. The next thing is go for the quantity. We are more interested when we are doing the brainstorming, we are more interested in the quantity. we want to generate as many ideas, as many solutions as possible, and so that later on we can analyze particular one-on-one idea, and we can basically narrow down the number of ideas, or we can funnel them uh, on the basis of so many other parameters. The next thing that is important in brainstorming is build on others' idea. If a team during the brainstorming is having some problem, or the new ideas are not generating as frequently, then we can basically try to generate our ideas on the others' ideas. So for that purpose, uses and thinking to combine, expand, and teammates' contributions. The next thing is we need to encourage the wild ideas. That is the main point from where the creativity is coming into our solution. And we need to stay focused. Most of the time, these kind of discussions are so much distracted. We can easily lose the focus. We can easily lose the focus on the problem, or whatever the outcome we are basically expecting from that brainstorming. So we need to stay focused during the brainstorming. So if we talk about the classic brainstorming and the brain writing, that is the silent brainstorming. So classic brainstorming, we were talking into the previous slide, and it is free from verbal idea sharing. Facilitator captures all ideas, and round robin for or open floor format, best for small groups. 4 to 8 people can easily accommodate in that group and do a useful outcome based brainstorming. If you are having teams where you are getting people who are introvert, then you can basically try the brain writing. It is not as powerful as a classical brainstorming method, but yes, it may be another solution for this purpose. So the next tool is the Scamper tool. It is my personal favorite, and I usually talk my students, or usually recommend this tool when any budding entrepreneur comes to me, and he or she may be interested in generating his or her startup. So this is the Scamper tool, which is the constituents of so many different things, like S stands for substitute, C stands for combine, A stands for adapt, and M for the modify, P stands for put to another use, and E for eliminate, and R for reverse or rearrange. So Scamper tool basically tells us that how to come up with new ideas, or the new products, or new solutions. They may be innovative. So if we talk about the substitute, like if we are having one existing product and we want to do some innovation, and we are very much focused that we want to make that kind of product only, we can substitute something. It may be the component, it may be the materials that is already being used into the product, or we can change the process that can replace with something else. So in this way, we can come up with new modified or improvised product or the service idea. Similarly, if we want to do some innovation in a particular field, that is the most of the time the requirement from the entrepreneurs who start their journey very early stage. So this is the combine tool. That means it suggests us that what if we are combining two different products, and we are basically coming up with a new innovative or more creative product or the solution or the service. So by merging, we can create something new. By substituting, we can create something new. Or what can be adjusted or borrowed from another context or industry. Like if one product is being used in one industry, and we are borrowing some of the features, we are borrowing some of the components or the working criticalities of that product, and we want to use, or we want to design a product that is going to be used in totally different industry, that is the adapt. And if we talk about the modify or magnify, that is easy to understand, and we can basically what can be enlarged or emphasized or altered, or whatever we can change or modify in our existing thing or product. Put to another use, how can the product or idea serve a completely different purpose? We are having one product, and this product is not so much popular, and this product is basically solving the problems in one particular domain, but we want that product to be used for the solution of totally different kind of problem statement. So we are basically putting that product into another use. That may be one form of the innovation that we can use. And the eliminate is the subtraction process, and we can basically simplify reducing the cost, and we can reducing the size and so many other things by eliminating the things. Reverse or rearrange. What happens if you flip the order, reverse the process, or rearrange the components? Eventually, you will be having a new product or new service in your hand. So this is a tool, and many entrepreneurs are using these tools in order to get innovation, or in order to convert their creativity into the innovation. The next thing, when to use a scamper and when not to use a scamper. When you are stuck on an existing idea, you want, for example, I am an entrepreneur and I want to work with on a television screen. So my idea is basically fixed, that I want to work with the television screen. Then I'm thinking about that, what new I can do, what innovative I can come with. So in that case, Scamper is very powerful tool, and it is going to help us to improve an existing product or service. We can use Scamper during early stage ideation sessions. Scamper is powerful tool, and when brainstorming feels too open-ended and we may not be able, or we are not being able to draw any conclusion from the brainstorming, we can use the Scamper. We can try Scamper at least in that scenario as well. Scamper in action, that means apply each letter as a prompt. Not every letter will apply. That's fine. And combine multiple Scamper moves for richer ideas, and work best after initial brainstorming. So I'm not saying that we can use or we should use only one tool for our purpose. We can use multiple tools if we are really interested in innovation or the entrepreneurship with the creativity and innovation. So first we can do a brainstorming, and on the basis of that brainstorming results, we can try to apply the Scamper tool as well. So the next tool is the mind mapping. That is about the visualizing your thinking. Whatever we are thinking, we want to visualize that how we are proceeding in getting the final outcome or output. So mind mapping is a visual brainstorming technique that organizes ideas around a central concept using branching structures. So mind mapping means start with the center, write your core topic. If I'm doing the mind mapping, I'll write my topic here at the center, and whatever the new thing that is coming in my mind, or that I think that this thing is basically correlated with my core concept, I can basically add those things here in my chart or in my screen, and I'll try to establish the linkages with each other, so that we can get that how we can do the what may be the new product, or what may be the features that are going to be most useful things for the user or the customers. So this is the process that how we can do the mind mapping. Start with the center and main branches, expand with sub branches, and use keywords only. Don't write bulky statements on the screen, because they may become the reason for the distraction. And if possible, then you can add colors and icons. And finally, you need to do a review and connection between those things. So this is all about the mind mapping technique. Benefits of mind mapping, if I talk about, an activity is both logical and creative thinking, and makes complex ideas easy to visualize, and reveal hidden connections, speed of note taking, and ideal for planning, problem solving, and studying. There are certain mind mapping tools that I am going to present here. The paper and pen is the most common, most basic tool that is available for the mind mapping. Paper and pen, we can start mind mapping with our notebook, or one chart paper, or one simple A4 size paper as well. MindMeister is a tool that is a collaborative online mind mapping tool. You can go online and try with your team that how to work on the MindMeister. Xmind, Miro, Coggle. Miro is my personal favorite, that can solve so many other purposes as well. But yes, there are the different tools which we can use while the mind mapping journey. Now, If we are talking about the entrepreneurial mindset, then the power of rapid prototyping is the most important thing. In entrepreneurship, it is a very old saying that if you need to fail, then fail fast. So in that order, the power of rapid prototyping basically includes iterations. So many iterations are required to be done. Failure is not the stopping points, but failure is the feedback for that we are getting from every or each iteration. Each cycle basically teaching us something invaluable. Then speed over the perfection. We should not track, or we should not basically chase the perfection while we are doing the entrepreneurship, because chasing perfection may be good for some reasons, but yes, if we are seriously looking towards a business, then perfection is basically overcome by the speed of doing the things. If some technology we are working with, some product or some gap we are working with, that is existing in today's world, then we need to give the solution in that time period, time span as well. If you are waiting for 3 years, 4 years down the line, then eventually that problem is not going to be so important that people are ready to pay for the solution of that particular problem. So speed is more important than the perfection while we are talking about the entrepreneurial journey of any entrepreneur. Then the feedback loop. In entrepreneurship, if we are not considering the feedback, that means we are doing something very bad, because feedback is the thing that tells us that what is accepted in the market, how consumers are reacting, and what else we can do for consumers to fulfill their need. And that is really helpful things that using which we can increase our business. So quickly, I'm going to do a case study. It's a very basic case study, and I've done this case study for this video session as only. We are trying to redesigning the common umbrella. So if we are using common umbrella, like in this picture, you are seeing that this is the umbrella. When we are closing this umbrella, then water eventually comes down to us. So we are thinking a solution that this should not be happen at all. So in this case study, we are going all 5 stages of the design thinking, and let's see quickly that what I am doing with this case study. The key user insights, this is the problem statement. How might we create an umbrella that is easy to operate with one hand? This is the first thing that we are focused upon. Minimizes the water exposure upon closing. When we are closing down the umbrella, the water exposure should be minimal or should not be there at all, and offers superior wind resistance. Okay, so these are the 3 criteria on which we want to design our new umbrella. So how we come up with this problem statement? These are the basis. Struggling with one-handed operation. I have seen the users who are struggling, who are carrying their bags and one hand with the umbrella, then they may not be able to close down or handle that umbrella so efficiently. Then getting wet while closing the umbrella as water drip inwards. That was our main problem statement. And frequent wind changes, damages to spokes and canopy in the moderate guess. So these are the things. On the basis of these things, we come up with this how might we statement, or the problem statement that may be the outcome of the defined stage. So here we are not talking about the solution. We have defined our problem clearly. And how we have defined? Because of the empathy. So these are the outcomes of the empathy stage, and finally we have defined the problem. And the stage number 3 is the ideate. Now we start thinking about the solution. With the problem clearly defined, the team generates a wide spectrum of ideas. That is the speculation of the session. And the first thing was inverted close. Umbrella force inward, trapping water inside the canopy, right? And the second idea was the aerodynamic shape. Curved canopy design reduces the wind resistance and prevents the inversion. The third idea was the flexible frame we can design. Memory alloys spokes that flex under the pressure rather than the snapping. The next idea was the water collection. Integrated channel at the base to collect drip for the clean indoor use. We can reuse that water that we are going to collect from the rain. And we can put some smart features like embedded GPS tracker and the rain sensor alerts via the smartphone and so on. So these may be some very wild ideas which we can put along with the umbrella. But here, the stage number 4 is the prototyping. Now we are going to implement these things. All of these things are not, we may not be able to implement all of those things in one prototype. But yes, our team selected the inverted closing concept that is most promising, and minimum tech intervention was required. So in that thing, we are considering the materials for the prototyping. Materials are not going to be very realistic materials, so we are not going to basically create one ready to use umbrella for the user. But yes, we are more interested in the prototyping. So we are using materials, the cardboard, fabric, scraps, basic wire mechanism, and these kind of things. Because our focus is not to sell that prototype to the final users. Our focus was to validate the core mechanics. Does closing invert truly trap water away from the user or not? So that was our focus. That is always the focus of any entrepreneur. The next thing is stage number 5. Finally, when we are having our umbrella in our hand, the prototype of our umbrella, then we need to test that thing with the users. We need to see, we need to understand that what worked, what needs improvement. So these are some hypothetical reasons or hypothetical results. I have never created such umbrella, but yes, these results might be like a strong positive reception. The dry closing mechanism, people are very happy. User appreciated the keeping their hands and bags splash free, and inverted concept felt genuinely novel and intuitive to most of the users. What needs improvement? Frame structure may be not so sturdy and it must be more robust. Button activation mechanism requires easier one thumb operation, and the handle ergonomics needs to be refined. These are all, I'm telling you, these are all the hypothetical test results. Our team never generated that kind of umbrella, but yes, to understand the implementation of design thinking while we are generating new product, this was a simple case study. So finally, the outcome of this session is the smarter umbrella. We have used 5 design thinking stages, 3 tools we discussed in today's session, and we learned that how iterations are important for our entrepreneurial journey. So this is for this session, and I hope that you have liked this session and you have got some useful things to implement in your entrepreneurial journey. Thank you.